The Negro Leagues were professional black baseball leagues comprised of numerous teams across the United States, primarily with black players. There were 7 relatively successful leagues beginning in 1920, termed the Negro Major Leagues. They competed against each other and barnstormed the country, playing local teams until the mid-1950s.
Play ball!
LeRoy Robert Satchel Paige was born in 1906 and died in 1982. He has been called the best baseball player of all times, black or white. Paige was a pitcher in the Negro Leagues and in the Integrated Major League. His career spanned 5 decades. He holds the record as the oldest professional baseball player when, in 1965, he signed with the Kansas City Athletics for a 1-game debut at age 59. In 1948, at age 42, Paige became the first player from the Negro League to pitch for the Cleveland Indians in the World Series. They won the series in 6 games, and Paige received Rookie of the Year, 1948. In 1971, he was the first black baseball player inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Paige just loved playing the game. Baseball was his only adult job. At the age of 10, Paige was playing top ball, a kid's game that used sticks and bottle caps instead of baseballs and bats, on a variation of a diamond. His mother, Lula, said he would rather play baseball than eat. It was always baseball, baseball, baseball. Paige began his career playing in 1926 for the Chattanooga Black Lookouts. He played for the Birmingham Black Barons, Baltimore Black Sox, Cleveland Clubs, Pittsburgh Crawfords, Bismarck Churchills, Kansas City Monarchs, New York Black Yankees, Memphis Red Sox, and Philadelphia Stars till 1950. He played in Cuba, the Dominican Republic, Mexico, Venezuela, Puerto Rico, and Canada. Paige's integrated major baseball teams included the Cleveland Indians, St. Louis Browns, and the Kansas City Athletes. Much has been said about this phenomenal athlete, but his friend and teammate Cool Papa Bell said, quote, he made his living by throwing the ball to a spot over the plate the size of a matchbox, end quote. Sports writer Joe Panaski wrote in Sports Illustrated, Paige was the hardest thrower in the history of baseball. Joe DiMaggio said that Paige was the best he ever faced. Bob Feller said that Paige was the best he ever saw. Hack Wilson said that the ball looked like a marble when it crossed the plate. Dizzy Dean said that Paige's fastball made his look like a changeup. Hall of Famer Charlie Gehringer, who faced Paige at the peak of his career, said, I never hit against anybody better. In 2000, Paige was honored on a United States postage stamp as part of the Legends of Baseball.
Play ball!
Another Legends of Baseball Negro League stamp honoree is Josh Gibson, known by some as the Black Babe Ruth. Gibson was born in Buena Vista, Georgia in 1911. He played the position of catcher, but his greatest talent was hitting the ball. Baseball historians consider Gibson among the best power hitters and catchers in baseball history. Gibson, in 1972, was the second Negro League player to be inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame, Josh Gibson, the legend behind the plate. He died in 1947 at the age of 35. Some have called Josh Gibson the greatest baseball player ever. What is agreed is that he was the greatest Negro League player to not play in the integrated majors. When we consider Gibson's almost 800 home runs in league and independent baseball during his 17-year career, some joke that Babe Ruth was the white Josh Gibson. An outstandingly great defensive catcher, but hitting balls was his forte. Gibson stood 6'1" and weighed 210 pounds, all muscle. In 2020, Major League Baseball announced that it will recognize the Negro League records, giving Gibson the second highest single-season Major League batting average of .466. He was the first player to win consecutive batting triple crowns, leading the league in home runs, runs batted in, batting average, and no batter has achieved this feat since. Gibson played for the Memphis Red Sox and the Homestead Grays in 1930. He also played for the Pittsburgh Crawfords and teams in the Dominican League, Mexican League, and served as the first manager of a Puerto Rican team. In 1937, he returned to play with the Homestead Grays. The matchup between Gibson and Paige occurred in 1942. Paige walked two batters to get to Gibson, the ultimate contest. Bases loaded. Gibson bats for the Grays and Paige pitches for the Monarchs.
Izzo!
Paige reigned. Satchel was asked if it was true that Gibson once hit the ball out of Yankee Stadium. He said yes. Gibson was one of those superhuman people that it would be 1,000 years before another came along like him.
Play ball.
Walter Fenner Buck Leonard was born in Rocky Mount, North Carolina in 1907. He died in 1997 and was able to celebrate his induction into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1972. Buck earned induction with his Thunder Twin, Dynamite Twin teammate, Josh Gibson. Leonard batted fourth in the Grays lineup behind Gibson. He led the Negro Leagues in batting averages in 1948 with a mark of .395, and usually either led the league in home runs or finished second in homers to teammate Gibson. They are two of only 9 players in the league history to win multiple batting titles. Leonard did not play in the integrated major leagues because in 1952 he turned down a contract because he felt that he was too old and did not want to embarrass himself or the team. Unlike many Negro League players, Leonard began his professional career playing first base with the Homestead Grays in 1934 and retired playing for them in 1950. He played in Mexico and with minor league teams until 1955. In 1999, Leonard ranked number 47 on the Sporting News list of the 100 greatest baseball players, one of 5 players who played all or most of their careers in the Negro Leagues. He was nominated as a finalist for the Major League Baseball All-Century Team. Pitcher Dave Barnhill said of Leonard, You could put a fastball in a shotgun, and you couldn't shoot it by him. Negro League pitcher Leonard said that he would have rather pitched against Gibson than Leonard.
Play ball.
Monford Monte Irvin was born in Haleburg, Alabama in 1919 and died in 2016. He was a left fielder and right fielder who began in the Negro Leagues but made it to the integrated major leagues. Irvin was an all-round athlete. In high school, he starred in 4 sports and set a state record in the javelin throw. He played baseball for the Orange Triangles, the local semi-professional team, and was offered a scholarship to play football at the University of Michigan. Unable to afford the move there, he attended and played for Lincoln University. Athletics and pre-dentistry studies conflicted, and eventually Irvin left school to play in the Negro League. In 1949, the New York Giants paid $5,000 for Irvin's contract. He was one of the first black players to be signed after Jackie Robinson broke the color line in 1947. Irvin began playing for the Newark Eagles in 1938. Denied a deserved raise in 1941, he left to play in the Mexican League, where he won a Triple Crown. He had a .397 batting average and 20 home runs in 63 games. World War II demanded Irvin's service, and on return, he was offered a contract with the Brooklyn Dodgers. Branch Rickey had signed Robinson earlier, but Irvin declined the contract, opting to sharpen his skills and return to play with the Eagles. He debuted with the Giants in 1949 as a pitch hitter and played with them until 1955. Irvin was elected to the Mexican Professional Baseball Hall of Fame in 1972 and the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 1973.
Play ball.
James Thomas Cool Papa Bell, born in Starkville, Mississippi in 1903, died in 1991. He was a center fielder in the Negro League and reputed to be the fastest man ever to play baseball. He moved to St. Louis at age 17 and started playing semi-pro baseball on weekends. As a pitcher for the St. Louis Stars in 1922, he was so cool and calm, striking out standout player Oscar Charleston, that the nickname Cool stuck. Bell added the Papa. He was a switch hitter, first batting right-handed and throwing left-handed. His speed allowed him to play very shallow in the outfield and to catch balls that were hit behind him. Bell was inducted into the National Hall of Fame in 1974. Long before he died. He ranked 66 on the list of greatest baseball players published by the Sporting News in 1999. Cool Papa Bell was said to have been the greatest leadoff man in baseball history. He joined the St. Louis Stars in 1922, then played for the Detroit Wolves, Kansas City Monarchs, in Santo Domingo, Homestead Grays, Pittsburgh Crawfords, the Mexican League, Memphis Red Sox, and the Chicago American Giants. Pitchers tried to avoid walking Bell because he was so fast and crafty he could steal both second base and third base, scoring a run on the next play. Bell could also sometimes score a run if he was on first base and the batter got a base hit.
He's safe.
Satchel Paige said, "Let me tell you about Cool Papa Bell. One time, he hit a line drive right past my ear. I turned around and saw the ball hit his rear end as he slid into second.
Play ball.
William Julius Judy Johnson was born in Snow Hill, Maryland in 1899 and died in 1989. Not only did he play third base, but became a manager as well. His baseball career spanned 17 seasons, from 1921 to 1937. Johnson's greatest success was as a contact hitter, an intuitive defenseman. Johnson is regarded as one of the greatest third basemen in Negro League history. He was elected to the Hall of Fame in 1975. Johnson began his career in 1921 for the Hilldale Daisies ball club and was with this team on and off until 1932. He is credited for being an outstanding on-the-field leader, respected for his professional disposition. His consistent swing and fielding prowess helped the Daisies win 3 straight pennants in the Eastern Colored League and the 1925 Colored World Series. Johnson went on to play for the Homestead Grays and Pittsburgh Crawfords. He was chosen captain of the Crawfords.
Play ball.
Oscar McKinney Charleston, born in Indianapolis, Indiana in 1896. He died in 1954. He played center field and was a manager in the Negro Leagues. As a boy, Oscar played sandlot baseball and was a bat boy for the Indianapolis ABCs. Charleston was one of the early Negro League stars. By 1920, he was generally considered as the greatest center fielder and one of the most reliable sluggers in black baseball. He was a renowned player recognized for his athletic skills, a powerful, hard-hitting slugger with speed and aggressiveness as a base runner, also as a top outfielder. He was an intense player with a volatile temper. Alongside Josh Gibson, he has the record for most league batting titles among players of the Negro Leagues with 3. He is the only one among all 9 players who won multiple batting titles in multiple leagues. His most productive season was with the St. Louis Giants in 1921, when he hit 15 home runs, 12 triples, and 17 doubles, stole 31 bases, and had a .437 batting average. Unlike players who paused play for World War II service, Charleston served 3 years in the United States Army prior to returning to baseball in 1915. That year, he began play for the Indianapolis ABCs. Charleston was a player and/or manager for the Indianapolis team, the Lincoln Stars, Chicago American Giants, Detroit Stars, St. Louis Giants, Harrisburg Giants, Hilldale Club, Homestead Grays, and Pittsburgh Crawfords. Also, he was manager of the Toledo Crawfords, Indianapolis Crawfords, Philadelphia Stars, Brooklyn Brown Dodgers, and the Indianapolis Clowns. He played 9 winter seasons in Cuba. Charleston was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1976.
Play ball.
Martin Dihigo, called the Immortal, was born in 1906 in Cuba. He died in 1971. He played Negro League baseball and for Latin American leagues from 1923 until 1936 as a two-way player, both as a pitcher and a second baseman, and he excelled at several positions. Cuban players and teams have been evident from the beginning of baseball play in America. Latin players were known and coveted. Dihigo began play in 1922 in the Cuban League. Over the course of his career, he played all 9 positions. As a hitter, he led the Negro Leagues in home runs in 1926 and 1935. He served as player-manager of the New York Cubans in 1935 and 1936. He played again in the Negro League in 1945. As a pitcher, Dihigo once defeated Satchel Paige while Paige was playing in Cuba. Dihigo's career record in 12 seasons in the Negro Leagues was a .307 average and .511 slugging percentage, with 431 hits, 64 home runs, 61 doubles, 17 triples, 227 RBIs, and 292 runs scored in 1,404 at-bats. He drew 143 walks and stole 41 bases. Dihigo has been inducted into the American, Cuban, Mexican, Dominican Republic, and Venezuelan Baseball Halls of Fame. Overcomers all who love the game of baseball: Satchel Paige, Josh Gibson, Buck Leonard, Monte Irvin, Oh So Cool Papa Bell, Judy Johnson, Oscar Charleston, and Martin Dihigo were the first Negro League players inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame. They were more than baseball players. They were Black American heroes.